Okay, hello everyone to the international session we're having on the Cycling Summit. It's called Bringing Cycling Forward, International Perspectives. My name is Doris Wiederwald. I'm from Austriatech, which is an agency of the Transport Ministry. We work in the field of mobility innovation, mobility policy, and the pleasure to moderate this session. We go beyond Austria, go beyond other international examples we had at the Cycling Summit and see examples of Switzerland, Hungary, Czech Republic and Romania. We have 5 speakers. After each presentation I propose to receive some questions on the presentation itself, and afterwards we'll come back together on the stage for a joint discussion on the topic of advocacy, national organization, national bicycle infrastructure, and so on. Okay, then I first would like to welcome Daniel Bachofner. On the stage is a geographer and works for ProVelo, that's the national advocacy institution for bringing cycling forward. He presents the special case that Switzerland last year by referendum agreed to take up cycling into the constitution. It was a very special case. Of course, the political frame of Switzerland, not easily, but by referendum possible. And he will present the cycling funding and support programs that are being performed. Thank you. Please, Daniel.
Thank you. Here we go. Is it at one or that one? Thank you very much for this introduction. I'm very pleased to be here to represent another country, which is not an EU country. But anyway, we try in Switzerland to stay in touch with other European countries, sometimes on a bilateral level, not on a multilateral, but on a bilateral level. And I have 2 reasons to be here. One is to present you some of our programs from ProVelo Switzerland. We are the #1 and the only advocacy organization in Switzerland. And another reason is I'm on my way further to Croatia. I will be in Zagreb tomorrow and we will prepare a meeting on road safety traffic, which is a bilateral program between Switzerland and Croatia. Today, I'm pleased to talk about some of our programs. ProVelo Switzerland is a classical member organization, and our ProVelo Switzerland is part of European Cycling Federation, ECF, and our 40,000 members. We are one of the big organizations in ECF, and we are proud of that. ProVelo is 40 years old and has quite an experience in bicycle promotion activities, and we know that bicycle promotion is a heavy suitcase of lots of things to think of. Not every good idea is possible and it is possible to be in practice. Bicycle promotion is a wide field, and many measures and activities and actions and sanctions activities you have to think about. I would like to show you some of our activities. The #1 and the oldest one is Bike to Work. But before I start with Bike to Work, I have to say and look back, we can't bring the economic situation and the social situation of year 1940 back to present, and we don't want to do so. This is a picture of 1940, city of Bern, where people were cycling. But what we found out while doing our activities is, for example, and I come to the point already now, if you want to be successful with your activities in cycle promoting, you have to promote happiness. You don't have to promote cycling as hard work or cycling as a sports activity, but you have to promote it as a happy, a thing that offers people to be happy. You have to offer awards, give them prizes, say thank you that they are cycling. And also you have to eliminate fear. Don't talk about fear, don't talk about risk, don't talk about road safety. These issues are not the points to talk about when you want to promote cycling. Bike to work is one of our best and oldest activities. Bike to work is about commuting. It's 15 years old already. It's existing for 15 years, and the web page and the logo you see here is changing every 3 years. Bike to work gets a new outfit every 3 years. That's another thing you have to think about when you promote cycling. You should be actual with how you look and feel. Bike to work is for companies to make their employees, to attract their employees coming by bicycle. The figures you can see here are the figures 3 weeks ago when the action started in beginning of May. Actually, the kilometers are not 600,000, but they are 5 million. So these numbers, these figures you will find on the website are actual and are growing up every day. The tons of CO2 equivalent, these millions of kilometers are done. Actually are 270 tons. It's not 93 anymore, and the people participating in Bike to Work is not 50,000, but it's 70,000 actually. So for a country like Switzerland, it's a very successful activity for cycle promoting. Another one is Defi Velo. ProVelo started 10 years ago with Defi Velo, and the focus of Defi Velo is not companies, it's not commuting, but it's the young people. It's a group of people that not many other programs focus on. People of 17, 18, 19 are not very easy to get for a program, to get involved in a program for cycling. They are much more focused on how and when I can get my car driving license. But Defi Velo focuses on cycling and wants to offer them good opportunities and show them how fun it is to cycle. We don't do that with much of knowledge, but we do it with much of experience. We have, for example, beside an animator who goes in a school class, beside an animator is always a second person, and this second person is, for example, a person who had made a 3-month cycle trip through Europe. And this person tells these young people how fun it is and about his experience on cycling. Another program is Bike to School. Bike to School is, I think, very well known in many other countries too. You go into school classes and you promote cycling. The good thing in Bike to School is you already have an animator. You don't need people from ProVelo to go into the classes, but you use the animators there already are. It's the teachers. The class teachers are the animators, and they just need some help to do what they want to do. For example, this class has won a a competition on helmet design competition. School class can participate in a helm design competition. The class who won has then the priority to get a whole set of helms. The helm is designed after their nach ihrem Vorschlag, after their suggestion. So the helm was produced for the class of this winning team. Another program is Velomittwoch. Bike to Work is an action that runs from May and June every year, only these 2 months. Velomittwoch focuses on cycling every week on Wednesday, all year around, and you don't have to be a member, an employee of a company. You don't have to wait for your company to make the inscription for you. You do it on your own. You do it on your smartphone, and you track your trips on smartphone, and you can win prizes as well. That's Velomittwoch. If you offer prizes to the participants, you need lots of sponsors, and it takes quite a long time and quite an effort to find prizes and sponsors. So offer awards is for sure a good step in being successful in these kind of activities. Promote happiness, always show laughing people, always use photos with a positive image. Eliminate fear, of course, don't talk about fear, but also, and the fourth point I had to add here is use animators. You have to have animators to bring your program to the people directly. If these animators are part of your program and you have to pay them, of course, the costs for the program will rise up. If you have the chance to have a program, an activity where you can address animators who still exist, then it makes it much easier to be successful. There's a couple of links you will find if you will have the chance to download the presentations later. You can find all these activities and programs from Provelo Switzerland. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. I ask you to stay outside a bit. Are there any questions? We have one back there. Could you just speak up? Or
Center for Budapest Transport. I really like your presentation, and particularly the approach of eliminating fear. We also follow the guidelines of the ECF, not promoting helmet use. In fact, we banned the helmet promotion and also the use of visibility vests in our communication for the past 5 years in promoting our bike sharing, and it's a big success. What I saw on the fifth slide, some helmets. I would like to ask you, in which extent do you think it's feasible or acceptable to show helmets when the concept is eliminating fear?
In Switzerland, the quota of helmet wearing has already reached a quota of like more than 50% with the children and around 20% for adult people. So helmet is visible in the street, in the traffic, people wear it, and Provelo has its position to say we are for sure, we will never accept mandatory helmet wearing in Switzerland, but we think that helmet in the traffic can be useful, and that's all we tell about helmet. We don't make more explanations. not to the young people, not to the children either. There's one exception in our bicycle courses, which are financed by the Road Safety Fund, the National Road Safety Fund. We have to wear a helmet during the course, so the animators, the children and the parents will wear it during the course. And on the pictures we try to show half people with helmet, half people with no helmet.
From Austrian Mobility Research. And just a small question. You said that you change the logo every 3 years on intent. What is the reason? The logo for Bike to Work, is that you changed it every 3 years?
Just to be actual and new all the time. Companies get into the program, be a member, but companies are under certain pressure to do things for their employees, and they also are under certain pressure to change the things they offer to their employees. So we want them to stay with our program. That's why we want our program always to look, to have a fresh and new look, an actual look.
So, one more question, maybe? No, not for the moment. So then, thank you, Daniel.
Thanks.
Thank you for your insights. So, I'd now would like to go to Hungary. First with Balázs Kozák.
Okay.
He's an environmental engineer working with Mobilissimus, EU projects among each other on urban mobility, as well on bicycle tourism. But he's very, additionally, and worth noting, so I can spell it, worth noting he's an active volunteer in Budapest for the Hungarian Cyclist Association, or Cyclist Club, and he's there in charge for awareness raising and for the educational brochure of the club, and he's going to present results from a bicycle survey performed last year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Balázs Kozák. Now I'm wearing my hat as a volunteer at the Hungarian Cyclist Club. Otherwise, I'm working at the company Mobilissimus, and I would like to introduce you the results of a survey, the core results that has been conducted last year. It was ordered from the Hungarian Cyclist Club, but supported and financed by the Hungarian Ministry of Innovation and Technology. All these results are summarized in a nice brochure and booklet. I have also these with me in English language, so later on you may take it after listening to the core messages. This is a survey that has never been conducted in Hungary, trying to provide a general overview. How do we cycle in the country which is a neighbor of Austria? It's a little bit flatter, and this way the conditions might be a bit different from the ones here. The survey was conducted with a professional company. It's a representative survey having 3,000 samples completed online, and from that we could conclude a lot of information that could help to come over the barriers and also help the communication in Hungary concerning cycling. The first one, and very interesting one, that roughly 2/3 of the people do not use car as a major transport mean for a primary use, but more like public transport, and the second mean, which is not a private car, comes the bicycle, as well as then the other active mode, walking, which is a really important fact that even we believe in everyday life that most of the commuters are the car drivers. However, in reality, it's not true, and this survey could help to come over this misbelief. Then another misbelief, which is often considered, that there are not so many bikers around Hungary. Let's say about 70% of the population use the bike at a different frequency. Let it be a daily commuting, or let it be a weekend, a holiday trip, or just going to the shop or to the school. But what we faced in Hungary is that many times the decision makers and also the general public talks about the cyclist society, which is not true. This shows that, let's say, more than two-thirds of the population uses the bike. So these are people who consciously use the bike, or other times the public transport, or they choose to take the car if that's the most suitable way to get to their destination. Then among the bikers, about 17% use it at an everyday basis, which is a relative high number, but this is a general average mean for Hungary. But if we look at the distribution of everyday cyclists, so as a bicycle as a primary mode of transport, then there's a large disparity within the country. You may see the Hungarian plain, this share is much higher. On the one hand, it could be because of the geographic the topography, whereas in the hillier, or what we call mountains, but it might sound funny here in Austria, a bit lower share of cycling, whereas closer to Burgenland and Styria, it's still relatively high if we consider these as a larger regions. However, if we move forward a little bit towards Budapest, then we see much lower numbers, namely 6% who use it every day, and compared to the countryside, there's a large gap between these two. So we shall also find the solution to make people cycle more within the cities and not only in the countryside. We are striving for it in cooperation with our partners. Then what was revealed in this survey, that out of those people who cycle regularly, or they take the bicycle, so the 70% of the whole population, mostly shopping is the main purpose, what people use it for. Other than that, more like sports, or they cycle to work. And we also try to promote it with the Bike to Work campaign, which is ongoing right now in Hungary. Then, a really interesting result that we wanted to point at is that, again, more than 70% of the drivers who have a driving license are also riding the bike. But if I want to turn it, 1/3 of those who are biking do not hold a driving license, meaning that the vast majority should know the traffic rules, so which is again like a misbelief against the cyclists, that they are coming the rules. They believe that they can cross the red lights or break other traffic rules, and this way we can point at it and use it in our active communication that it's not fully true, and those people are also actively participating in the traffic if they use another transport mode like the car, so they should know it about it. Another interesting result was that what people would like to see to make cycling more attractive. And on the first one is clearly to have a better infrastructure. My colleague from the Ministry of Innovation is going to talk about these developments in the next presentation. There's a lot of things going on in Hungary, and people also need it, as we see. Other than a closer cooperation with the car users, also making our cities, inner cities, car-free as much as possible, and then to combine our daily trips with other transport modes, primarily with public transport. Then, coming close to the end of my presentation, we also asked where do they feel themselves comfortable while cycling, and the number one results were the protected lanes, or where the cyclists were protected from car users. Then, as a second category, where they were using shared space with other users, either on transport or with other users. Then getting closer to the cars, having a bike lane or path, but people don't really like to cycle on the path, on the sidewalks, on the pedestrian roads. So even if we know sometimes they do, but maybe it's a opportunity that they cannot really neglect, and it might be the fastest way to reach our goals. So again, it's the infrastructure which is reflected from the previous answers. And I would like to thank you for the invitation, and we had a really great fun yesterday at the cycling ground, but let me also welcome and invite you to next year's cycling parade called I Bike Budapest. I'm wearing also this shirt, and you may also join us to the more than 10,000 people who are lifting their bikes at the end of this great parade, crossing the most beautiful parts of Budapest. And we are actively going towards a more cyclist-friendly Hungary. And thank you very much for listening to me. And please, if you would like to take this brochure in English language, I have limited number of editions here. Thank you.
Thank you, Balázs. So, are there any immediate questions? Yes, thanks. Just a mic, so I go to.
Again, a small question.
Yeah.
What is this cycling parade?
This cycling parade. So back in time, there was a critical mass movement in Budapest, but then at the end, the organizers thought that we already reached this critical mass. And then the cyclist club took over the initiative, and we don't call it anymore critical mass, but we want to make a positive message to the public that now Budapest is getting more and more cyclable, if there's such a word, and to make it fun. So that's why usually the route takes the most beautiful touches the most beautiful places in Budapest, and then we get together, enjoy the day around the Earth Day, so usually at the end of April. So, and then it was renamed, or let's say another initiative was started after the critical mass to keep this inertia with those thousands of people.
Yes, Daniel.
You were showing us the results of this survey. Was it the Hungarian Cyclist Club who ordered this survey? That's my first question. And another one, were these numbers, these figures, the results of this survey, was it new, or did such figures already exist, done by other organizations or by national authorities?
Mm-hmm. I really cannot go into great details of that, but this was a survey which was conducted for the first time. Such a comprehensive survey has never been done. So in that way, it on the one hand confirmed our thoughts on cycling, and officially also supported by the Government Commissioner of Active Hungary, as well as the innovation of technology, but it was ordered by the Cyclist Club. So,
Thank you. Please.
Do you have any thoughts why there's such a big gap between the number of cyclists in the city and in the countryside? Because for me, since against my intuition, I feel like there are more people riding bicycles in the cities.
I can only tell my personal perception, so nothing more based on these numbers, is that in the countryside, on the one hand, the population is poorer, so not everyone can afford to have a car. On the other hand, they are not taking that long distances, so that they would wait for a bus which is coming maybe twice or 4 times a day. So in a way, the most practical way to move around, especially on a great Hungarian plain, is the bicycle. So there's no need to do any awareness raising there, or sure, of course, but compared to the cities where you have to compete with other transport modes more, I believe that's the reason. But that's my personal perception, so it's not of the Hungarian Cyclist Club.
Thank you. Then you already bridged the gap to the ministry. Hungarian cyclists, and I think every cyclist appreciate infrastructure, well-developed infrastructure, and Attila Klaas from the Ministry for Innovation Technology will present the bicycle program on national level, which goes heavily into infrastructure development and into routine signposting. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me welcome to the honorable audience to this presentation. I'm Attila Glass from Hungary. I work in the Department of the Cycling Coordination at the Ministry for Innovation and Technology. As you can realize by the large bold letters, I will make a speech about the development of the Hungarian cycle route network. After a short introduction, I will introduce the recent developments and the future plans about the construction project and the signposting of recreational routes. Then I will demonstrate some related activities, and finally I close with a summary. Let's begin with the introduction. Due to the former, mostly isolated developments in the Hungarian cycle route network was not coherent, nor was it nationwide or local. However, there are some exceptions like bikeable dams and some regional sections. Although this map is not completely up to date, it shows in general that there are a lot of gaps in the network. Regarding to signposting, the 4 main sections in Hungary at the Eurovelo number 6, 11, 13, and the Balaton bike ring, but the signposting of these routes have some deficiency. Beyond the above listed, we struggle with other problems in terms of cycling in Hungary, but I don't want to tell you all about our difficulties. Instead, I switch over to the present and future developments. Beginning with the construction projects. The 3 most important developments at are the Győr-Budapest section of Eurovelo 6 and the Budapest-Lake Balaton route and the Balaton bike ring, whose execution will be started off this year and financed by the EU and the domestic funds as well. There are some other investments at the regional level, mostly funded by Hungarian government. Furthermore, there are about 500 projects to improve local networks. These projects are financed by the EU. As you can see in the map, the developments listed above spread nationwide. An example for the regional project is a new bridge for cyclists over Lake Tisza. That ensures the closure of the bikeable ring around the lake. Besides the construction projects, signposting of recreational routes have been in progress for the last 1.5 years. And the symbols that we use on the signs have a new design. As you can see, there are two common types of signs. The smallest one just indicates to ensure to keep the right direction, but the biggest one provides more information about destinations and their distances. There will be two other types of signs, one to direct to the POIs and one for special cases like roadblocks, high ascents, and so on. There are 5 routes already signed. One example for that is the Fertőt-Keszthely route, bending Lake Fertő and Lake Balaton. Another example is the southern and northern sections of Eurovelo number 11 along Tisza River. Some other routes are under elaboration, out of which the most important being the Szent Gotthard, Lake Balaton and Lake Velence route. That will be a part of the Eurovelo number 14, which is going to be the route between mid-Austria and Eastern Europe. Another significant route will lead from the Lake Velence to Gyula. In the near future, we are going to project the signposting of some more routes that in general make connections with the routes listed above. It's important to notice that the signposting includes placing signs that point the right track on bikeable and low traffic routes, and just in very well funded cases contain constructions. We are also working on other activities, and a lot of them are related to already mentioned ones. Associated to the signposting, we will get resting points and information boards placed along posted routes, and we have been creating a numbering system to identify those routes. We got 19 automatic traffic counters installed to measure the traffic volume of cyclists, and we have already been getting the traffic volume manually counted every year at other 95 cross sections. Furthermore, we have a survey, you know. Finally, I would like to summarize my presentation in one final slide, on which you can see the nationwide, regional, and local improvements related to construction and signposting projects listed above, and those that are at issue in Hungary in order to create a coherent cycle route network.
Thank you, Attila Gas. So, questions to the national level. Hungary. Yes. We have a national representative here. Maybe there's none. Well, the post or the function of being a national cycling coordinator, is it quite new in Hungary, or did you follow up someone else?
It's about 2 years.
2
before,
years.
For 2 years, yes.
So you actually build up the whole coordination.
Yes,
on it.
we want to do it.
Yeah. So you? Yes, Daniel.
I cycle to work, and we're living in Budapest, I have to cycle within Budapest. Do I use the same infrastructure you built and use signposts for tourists? Or can I find as a cyclist and an everyday cyclist in Budapest another good network of cycle routes?
We created this image for regional routes, but it can be used at cities also. Sorry.
So how much were about the cost for this whole like infrastructure and signage endeavor?
I don't know the cost exactly of this project, but from 2014 to 2020, we have about 600 million euros, including constructions, service, maintenance, and so on. 600 million euros
6 years.
for 7 years.
7 years. So, and it's, you said it's coming from EU funds as well. So objective 1, I guess, infrastructure
And
investment.
Hungarian
And
funds
Hungarian
also.
funds.
Yes.
Which source, from the transport side or regional development side rather?
Transport side.
Transport side. Okay. Thank you. Then, thank you, Attila.
Thank you.
once again. Then we go back to a like regional, local level, to Romania, Timișoara, if I spell it rightly, hopefully. I welcome Anna Montaniu from Verde pentru Biciclete. She's a former actress and now very active in Timișoara on bringing cycling forward. She will present the case, and I think a very familiar case for many cyclists or cycling advocates, of the challenge between the city level with lacking funds, lacking employees for bringing cycling forwards, and on the other side the cyclists complaining about deteriorating infrastructure. Please, Anna.
Sorry. Okay. Hello, thank you. So, a helping hand. You can see up there it's lobby, local community authorities, and velo infrastructure. We wanted to give a helping hand for everybody because my organization, it's called Verde pentru Biciclete, which means green for biking. Green light for biking. We didn't know exactly how to translate it in English to make sense, but we advocate for a better infrastructure because in Romania we have lots of problems about this. Actually, last year was my first year as a program manager of this program because the program is like 12 years old and first, the Green Light for Biking volunteers tried to encourage people to use bicycle in Timișoara. Timișoara is a western city in Romania. It's like the second largest city probably. For 10 years, volunteers tried to encourage people to use bicycle. You have to know that Timișoara is pretty flat. Because we have in Romania lots of mountains and stuff like this. No, in Timișoara we have a flat ground, so perfect for bicycles. we had bike to school, bike to work, bike to everywhere, lots of rides, lots of children events, everything was perfect for 10 years. So they realized it, they did it. The people of Timișoara tried to use bicycle as a transport system. Okay, and last year when I received the invitation to be a program manager, the community was pretty big and they had some issues. Main issue, it was of course about the bike lanes. So I said, okay, let's see how we are doing on the bike lane system. How many we have, how good they are. Does anyone know? No. But there are lots of complaints. Lots and lots of complaints. So we said, okay, let's do what we can. Because authorities, I want to tell you sincerely, our mayor says that we are in an era of cars. And this is the future, and it's something pretty annoying for the community because everybody has a bicycle and everybody wants to use it, but it's not safe. So we wanted to show a clear and objective picture of the extent and quality of biking infrastructure to see how we are really doing. So the volunteers tried to make standard, we said it, guidelines. Why? Because the mayor of institution of mayor did some kind of evaluation of bike lanes, and they had the result. The bike lanes were medium, good, and very good quality. And we were like, no way, in Timișoara. Let's see. So we took some international studies, some international standards, some national kind of, we don't have it right now, but we should have it. And we tried to make a evaluation scheme. Then every volunteer, not so many, but took the bicycle, put a GoPro, a camera, and filmed it. Another volunteers, I want to tell you that we have engineers, architects, competent people there, and very nice people. I love them. They evaluated each bike lane based on the movies we made, and we posted all the results online. Everything is online. We have a website, we have an interactive velo map, so now if you want to make a ride with your bicycle, you can click on the map and see how the bike lane there are. Also, we evaluated the bike lanes and we gave them a score between 0 and 100 points. Okay, and also every bike lane has its own page where you can see the video of the page we filmed, of the bike lane we filmed, and the score. And also there are scores for connectivity, for length, for quality of the pavement, for lack of anything. There's 0 points for that. And we discovered that, yes, we have issues. It's not just medium, good, and very good. We have also bike lanes with 0 points, 10 points, 20 points. I have to be very sincere. We have also a problem in our team because some bike lanes, majority of bike lanes in Timișoara are not bike lanes, are just painted on pavement and not anywhere on the pedestrian place. So it's not safe, it's not a bike lane. But on the other hand, people on community said that, okay, we know that this is not okay, this is not standard, but I feel safer here than on the road with cars. And we're like, mind blowing, what we have to do now? We have to think about it. The ethics were like, we had the positive feedback from local media. They were like, yay, finally, you do something. Positive feedback from local authorities. I have to mention, the mayor says, good job. And now we said, okay, so next, We are still waiting. And open door to local authorities. Promises, because next year it's going to be a local election, so we had lots of promises. What we are going to do next? Well, we have to update report after 1 year to track changes. We want to do this. In September, we are going to, guess what? Ride our bicycles with our GoPro and film the entire bike lane system again, because we want to make sure that we have a complete report year after year and to see the results. Improve a frame based on feedback, and also this year we tried to develop a mobile app to track biking routes because Timișoara is an IT center and we have lots of IT. And even though I know there are apps out there in the stores which would help us, we want to have our own app so we can use the data and also make lots of improvements using the app. Thank you. This is our helping hand for the local quality, for community, and hope next year I'm going to be here with great results.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
And I think it's a great initiative, such a grassroots evaluation. Are there any questions directly to the presentation? Were there any other initiatives in the country? Neither.
Congratulations to your initiative.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work, so it was all done voluntarily.
Yes.
Even the website.
Everything from scratch to bottom, even the guidelines, even the website, even the logo, everything was volunteered.
And how many people were involved?
No more than 10.
10.
No more than 10, because some of them ride the bicycle and filmed. Me, because I'm not an IT or a construction or a design or architect. So we tried to manage the situation in a small team, even though we tried to engage the community, but because of the last 10 years of not advocating, just they said we had just a PR movement, just a PR action. Then they didn't trust us very much, the community, and we had to gain their trust and to gain their respect again. Yes. Wow.
I would like to know if there were any other countries involved that were helping you. Because I'm from Austria and I would be really interested in helping that project. If there are any ideas of doing cooperations or getting other countries involved in this.
Not yet. We didn't have. We just wanted to make things happen. Just let's do this. But we need now help. We really need help because we don't know what to ask the mayor administration. We don't know how to ask because they say it's not possible. They say this is the city, we don't have enough space. And I'm like here in Graz, I'm like they have small spaces here and lots of bike lanes, and I'm furious. And also I know that talking with politicians is different. Also in I have to be sincere, in our organization now we ask ourselves, one of us might have to go to the local council, local council to be a politician just to save our asses because time is passing and we have to do something, otherwise we are going to lose this train. And I saw it today and yesterday, we are like in 70s. For other countries. And this is frustrating because I have a baby boy and I want him to live here, like here or like in Holland. And we have to step up. So yes, if you have any input, please contact us. Please, please, please give us suggestions how we could advocate furthermore. Thank you very much.
So, thank you. So towards Advocacy Evaluation Network, the European Cycling Federation. Are you part?
No. Since I know, I'm so new at this.
Okay.
I mean,
I think it could be a good first step, and certainly there's always possibility for European cooperation projects and doing stuff together. Okay. Is there one more question? Am I right?
Regarding infrastructure development, my question is for Attila and for Martin. Do you see any opportunity maybe to put these infrastructure development issues into a higher level? As far as I know, ECF has some guidelines, some standards, but they are only applying for the Eurovelo network development. Would it be possible to make a kind of, if not European, regional, Austrian, Hungarian, Croatian, Romanian, common kind of design manual for this kind of projects, national projects and also city projects? Would it be a good idea?
I can only answer for Austria. We have in Austria national guidelines, but they are not mandatory. So it depends on the local authorities if they use these guidelines. Most of the municipalities use it because it's combined with how to call it in English. It's combined if there's an accident, then the expert will brought to court if they don't use the manual. So most of the manuals are used in Austria, but it's not really mandatory by law. To define a European guideline, maybe we will discuss this in 10 years. I don't know. Discussions within the European Union level, it's always a bit tricky regarding the subsidiarity. For example, the Netherlands, I don't think that they will be happy to have a European manual because it's a downsizing for them. So that's the discussion at the European level. It's another issue if there are fundings used for projects. So it's easier for the administration level to make guidelines mandatory for funded projects. That's maybe a step that we could do already now. And also we use it for national fundings. So if a municipality gets national funds, then they have to use the national guidance mandatory. It's the first step we use it. So that's just a discussion.
it would be nice to be in English, everything in English too.
Yes, thank you. So we have a first joint project to start. Thank you, Anna, for your input. So, last but not least, I welcome Jaroslav Martinek. We go to Czech Republic, and he's working at the Faculty for Transport Science at the University of Prague, Technical University of Prague, and he's the National Cycling Strategy Coordinator and active in the partnership on urban mobility, and he will present the City Changer projects.
Okay, what is City Changers? Maybe it's not only about Czech Republic. Maybe it's campaign for in Hungary, Romania, Austria too. Maybe. In Czech Republic, we know about some everything. Maybe in Hungary. Do you know this?
Heard about it.
Okay, but in Czech Republic, and you have a problem. For example, what is sustainable? What is it? In Czech Republic, we see the first economic and sustainable. Sorry, I don't like this word. I like economic level. Other, what is urban? Maybe there, maybe there, maybe there. But unfortunately, in Czech Republic, our cities not cooperate, big cities and small cities. But in Czech Republic, many small cities, not Prague, not Brno, it's only one. But in Czech Republic are small cities. Other, what is mobility? Planning mobility. Unfortunately, in Czech Republic, prepare some technical engineer, and we prepare classic traffic documents, not some. Other problems. Plan. What is plan? Okay, but we don't understand what is plan because we prepare only technical documents about transport. And we don't understand that this SAMP is strategies plan. There are mistakes in Czech Republic, and I think the same problems have you too. Understand? Okay. How communicate? By reason and emotions. The first, of course, we have website too. Of course, we have documents, other recommendations, other projects, not problem. We teaching, we have conference, not problem. But MasterCard comes me and say me, sorry, politics, officers, people don't understand you because you speak maybe academic level, maybe traffic level, but you must speak by stories, by maybe city changers. You must find stories, not only technical level, not only street. You must find human stories. Okay, the first step, we try in Czech Republic create strong team, but my advantage is I cooperate with National Cycling Coordinator in Austria. I hope that I cooperate with Deputy of Mayor from Ljubljana. I like create strong Europe team. And we speak very easy about active mobility, about environment, about safety, about date. We need Czech singers, Czech actors, Czech writers, because maybe they people speak easy than me, than you. And these people help us introduce very difficult things. Okay, the second, present concrete stories. I introduce 3 stories. The first is design streets. Maybe in the same presentation was a presentation from Deputy of Mayor from Ljubljana 1 hour ago, was about public space. Yes, good experience, but in Czech Republic, maybe in your cities, this is realistic situation. Maybe in Ljubljana, perfect, but unfortunately in Czech Republic, this is reality, not design streets, it's car streets. It is normal situation in our cities. We have many bad stories and few good stories. I try to find good stories, not only Czech Republic, and all Europe. I found good stories from Hungary, Austria, Ljubljana. Very important for our politics. The second story is about mobility. For example, Ostrava, Třinec. I like to cooperate with you and show this city is not only about cars, it's about living, it's about walking, about cycling, about public, about cars. But we don't understand them. This is a railway station, typical situation. Many cars in front of railway station. We try prepare integral project about walking, about trees, about parking for not only cars, but bicycle too. Easy, but our officers, our politics don't understand them. Innovation, okay, smart city grads, perfect pictures. But in Czech Republic, maybe in Hungary, smart cities innovation is only support cars. For example, e-bikes in Czech Republic is innovation. Yes, because we don't understand that e-bikes not only cyclotourism, but e-bikes is for support transport. But unfortunately, in Czech Republic, we speak only about e-cars. I don't understand. I don't understand that I found English version words, we don't listen our children, because our children have other thinking than me, that older people. I try to listen my children. It's our future. Gets the studies to people, communications. Teďka budu mluvit česky, rozumíte mi? Don't understand me. Because I speak Czech languages, but I speak in Czech languages with my politics, my officers, and don't understand me too. Not about languages, it's about thinking the same. It's communication, very hard. I speak about streets, but politics understand other things. And I find good experience, not only Czech Republic and all Europe, from Hungary too. This is your video, this is your picture from your children. And I hope the same picture will have our children too in Czech Republic. Okay, the last thing, citizens. I like that there is a deputy of mayor of the city, Ljubljana. This is special picture for you. This is our website. This is, yes, because I teach in Czech Republic. I teach our politics that you must have the same thinking that of deputy of mayor of Ljubljana. It's not only about technical infrastructure, it's about thinking. I find in Czech Republic the same similar politics as in Ljubljana. It's about changes. I don't find cities. I find concrete people's politics officers. And I need cooperate with Ljubljana because this is your pictures, Ljubljana. This is your picture from your campaign, communication with people. I learn from you. How communicate with your people? Because we need to communicate with our people too. And we cooperate with our cities, a special website for Uničov, for Otrokovice, and this is all. And really, I cooperate with you. I hope cooperate with Austria, with Hungary, with Slovenia, with Romania, and with other cities. It's not only technical information, it's only about us, about people. Thanks.
Thank you, Jaroslav. I guess this was an invitation of the Vice Mayor to Prague to make a tour through Czech Republic for promoting cycling. So, are there any questions to Jaroslav? Please.
Hello, thank you very much. I would like to know, I'm a trainer in nonviolent communication, so this looks very much like nonviolent communication, and I would like to know if you have any training if you have communication training, or how you got that concept from, or how you got that idea. It's very inspiring, and I think it's very, very important, and I was just wondering where you got it from, or what's your approach?
In Czech Republic now we have a special situation because our government prepare strategy for development, urban mobility, active mobility. And our association partnership for urban mobility say that it's not only theoretic information, we must communicate with our people. We must participate with them, and we communicate now in maybe in three level. The first, we communicate with politics officers, because politics is a citizen's tool. The second level, I often goes to our cities, and I have besedy, communication with people, and I try to find concrete people in concrete cities. NGO, you must help your cities. And last level, I communicate with schools, with children. And now we prepare our national conference in autumn, and we would like invite them people, children too, because I see it's very, very clever. It's our easy strategic communications. Really, website, news, it's classic, it's typical, classic.
One more question? Not for the moment, so I'll ask all the speakers to stand up and come to the panel. Oh, yeah,
Kopšenice, large cities.
So we heard a lot about initiatives and challenges in each country on different levels. We heard about communication, getting funding, getting things done. So what would be your proposal for further cooperation in the country between the modes of transport, between the levels, between policy and advocacy, and on the European level?
Very much impressed on what you do as a grassroots organization in Romania, and you said you feel like in the 1970s, and that was when in Western Europe and when Provelo was founded, for example, and Provelo was that kind of grassroots organization at that time, still is a bit of a grassroots organization, but meanwhile many things have its position well organized within the authorities, and working together between NGO, authorities, city or federal level, and university, technical universities. This going together, this working together has established meanwhile. And that's the thing that must happen, I think, to be successful with cycle promotion.
You pass it on. Share your ideas.
Even if we are at a cyclist conference, I believe that we should cooperate with other transport modes. We know that one of the best transport modes is a bicycle for many reasons. But in a way, even if we are considering short distances, being in a city, traveling in a region, let's not consider cyclists, drivers, but people who want to actively move around and let them the possibility, also on the one hand on infrastructure, on information and communication, that they can choose this and that modes, and they could consciously choose the one that fits to their age, to their purpose, as well as to their maybe family status.
That's all. I have nothing to say.
Yeah. On European level, maybe, between the ministries?
I don't know, sorry.
So, as I said earlier, our guideline, our standard, we said it, the evaluation scheme, was based on international standards and local good practices. So international standards are very important for us. Even though they're not mandatory, they're something to look forward. And I want you to understand that everything you do in each country you live, it's an example for us in 1970s country. It's an example because we don't want to spend so many years to develop. We want to hurry up, and we want to make this gap smaller and smaller. So please, please go home and do things and be better and find solutions, because we are looking forward to you as mentors, as I don't know, inspiration, as good practice, and we need this kind of examples. So even though we are not going to mail us, you're not going to mail us or help us directly with informations or everything you do, communicating, changing things in your cities, changing things for your people, help us very much because you're an example. So this is, I think, the most important thing to do, because sometimes you don't have time to help the other, but just being a good example helps us a lot, and also helps me when I go to the mayor and I say, look, they did it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The first time I was in Graz 20 years ago, there was international conference Velocity, remember? Now, there I learned only about cycling. And now I see is our cities not only about cycling, it's about walking, cycling, public transport and cars. And me, I am cyclist, I am psychoterrorist. No, I am man. I like walking, I like running, I like cycling, I like use public transport and cars too. And maybe it's about, this is about communications, not about strategy, but normal speech about changes public space. Public space is about us, not about infrastructure.
Thank you. So, any questions left? Not for now. So, thank you very much to the speakers. You brought great insights. There's another hand? Yeah. Ljubljana.
So many mentioned that
Yeah,
I need to answer. Important is to know that what's my position. Namely, I have been re-elected 3 times. This is a lot. 3 times is a lot. Explaining everything. But my role is very, within the administration, is very specific, it's very particular, because I work there pro bono publico. What it means, that I'm serving the people. For that reason, I can serve even for people of Prague. Why not? Maybe this is the precondition for a observing constantly with people. This is maybe the answer. Next to it, that I'm representing NGOs. I mean, so-called intruder within the organization, administration, because I'm opposing constantly to traffic engineers, to rigid, to traffic officials within the municipality. But by doing, breaking, changing mindset and so on, we're doing as an activist. So I'm activist in disturbing the normal positioning of politics. So that I can communicate directly to mayor, to anybody, even to state officials, even to the president of Slovenia. I can communicate directly with him. Because I'm free-minded person, and I'm free to do everything possible which serves the people, which meet the people's needs. And this may be important. Okay. So I'm in your disposition.
Perfect.
I think these were great final words. Thank you. Thank you again to the speakers. Thank you to the audience. Please don't forget to take brochures and exchange contacts. And then, after the conference, don't forget to cooperate. Thank you. Bye.